Hi everyone, my name is Daisy. Welcome back to my channel. Back with another video. Um Today's topic is something that I'm very passionate about, and I wrote notes down and everything so I don't miss anything. And if I do, I'll for sure come back and talk about it. But I haven't been on for a while. A lot of stuff has been going on. My school, Mercury retrograde. Let's blame it all on Mercury retrograde. Um, yeah, but I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. I've been feeling a calling to do this for a while. Um, I don't know, just something I'm very passionate about, and I feel like I just have to talk about it and put this message out there. I have conversations with so many people about spirituality and religion and stuff like that, and I just get like so into it. So, um, fair warning if I get a little amped up talking about this. It happens. That's what happens when you talk about something you're passionate about. I mean, at least for me. Um, but yeah. Sorry if this video is going to be all over the place because, like I said, I've just had like so many ideas running through my mind, different topics to talk about covering this subject. So I did write it down, but again, it might be all over the place. Mercury retrograde. Let's blame it on Mercury retrograde. But yeah. So first, I just wanted to talk about the context of spirituality and religion and what is the difference. Um, to me, they are very similar, um, but they are very different to me. Also, I think it's depending on the context that you're talking about. Um, because I think there's a fine line. Like in religion, you would call it praying. Um, when you're quiet and you're by yourself and you're talking to God, they call it praying. But I find that meditation is similar because when I meditate, I'm actually praying and talking to God. Um, at least that's what I do when I meditate. When I just like go in the zone and I'm just, you know, elevating during meditation, I talk to God. So it's kind of the same thing, prayer, meditation to me, because like I said, I kind of pray and talk to God while I'm meditating. Um, so there is a fine line and different things, which I'm going to talk about. So, let's start from the very beginning. So I am Mexican American. My family raised me Catholic. Um, They're like old school Mexican Catholics, and that's how I was raised. So, um, I guess you can say it's kind of conservative, but my family's not conservative, but Catholic religion is. Um, uh, you know, if you look into Catholic, they're really like a strict religion. Um, I was baptized. I did my first communion. I did my confirmation. I got a breath. I did my confirmation and I also did my quinceañera, all at church, even by the same priest, Father Brown. If you're familiar with Guadalupe Church in Logan Heights by Chicano Park, that's where that's my family's church, and that's where I started going to church. I did my baptism there, my first communion there. But then Father Brown moved to St. John of the Cross in Lemon Grove, if you're familiar with San Diego. But if you're not familiar with San Diego, everybody knows Logan Heights, Chicano Park. But yeah, Father Brown moved to Lemon Grove, St. John, and I did my confirmation over there with him, and he also did my blessing for my quinceañera. So yeah, I was raised pretty conservative, whatever you want to say, very close to God, close relationship to God, always believed in him. Um, and I honestly think that's where I was rooted in my values. Like my moral values. Like yes, of course, I've made mistakes and stuff, but um my core values, I think, did come from that. So I thank my family for that. Um, like the Ten Commandments, like thou shall not steal, thou shall not commit adultery, thou shall not um speak ill of thy neighbor. I don't have them all memorized, but like just little stuff like thou shalt not lie. That's a huge one for me. Now, of course, growing up, of course I've said lies, but as an adult and I've gone through my spiritual awakenings, I pride myself in not being a liar. Like I seriously cannot lie. Like I will laugh. You will read me like instantly if I try to lie. Like I'm not a good actor. I cannot lie. I think it's too much of a burden on my back, and I don't understand people who can lie. Like it is just one big thing about me that I pride myself in. And I think that came from my upbringing, my core values when I was a little girl. Um, but yeah, so back to my childhood. Also in my childhood, when I was thinking about it, thinking about this video and like I said, having conversations with people, I've realized like the movies that I've watched growing up also had an impact on my spirituality. Three movies in particular jump out to me. Um, First, I'm gonna start with the movie. I think it's called Witches. I think they even made a remake of it recently. And excuse me. And I think I saw the movie on Netflix, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like complete nostalgia to my childhood. But long story short, that movie is about witches, older women preying on. Oh my, excuse me. Um, like they would say, throat chakra. Someone doesn't want me to have this message out. No, but um, yeah, in that movie, the older women were preying on little kids, and they would bribe them with like chocolate bars, and they will lure them in by being nice and stuff. But they were preying on the kids to maintain their youth. So they would collect all these kids, and then they would turn them into mice or something. Like I just remember it vaguely because the movie was really creepy to me. Even when I tried to rewatch it recently, when I saw it on Netflix, like I couldn't watch it. I thought it was too creepy because like the witches literally go up to the little kids like creeper status, like, and to lure them in, give them chocolate, and then they turn them into mice and pretty much take their youth. And I think they make them get like stuck in photos or something. I don't know. It's very creepy. That movie definitely scarred me. Definitely had an influence on my spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it. Another movie, um, just a little bit showed me a little bit, was the movie The Bride of Chucky. Um, I remember me and my cousins. I don't know if you guys seen it, but in the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where she's doing what would you call it? A spell? I don't know. She's doing something to bring Chucky back to life because Tiffany is Chucky's girlfriend and she wants to bring him back to life. So she does. I don't know what the word is. I'm blanking right now. But she does her whole like little setup and to bring them back to life. And I remember us as kids, like we thought it was like funny because she was bringing Chucky back. But I remember my family would be so pissed when we would like try to like reenact the scene and like we would say the chant. And I remember our families would just get like really mad at us and we would get in trouble. So I knew from off the bat that that was wrong. Um, Doing spell work or man, there's a word for it when you're like when you lay it all out on the floor with candles and um but I'm blanking right now. Mercury retrograde. But yeah, we would get in huge trouble. So that was instilled in me that that was bad. Don't do that. And lastly, one of the biggest movies that just like came into my head and I'm like, wow, that movie actually taught me a lot of stuff was the movie The Craft. I don't know if you guys seen it. Um Me and my cousins love that movie, girl cousins. Um but again, that movie, um had a huge effect on my spirituality, like I said. So I don't know if you guys seen it, but basically there's three girls that are witches. They practice spell work and all that. And then there's one girl, she's the new girl. But the thing with these three witches, they're not natural born witches. They're just witches because they read books and they do spells. And the new girl, she's actually natural born witch with natural power. She doesn't need to do spell work and spell books like the other girls do. So the real witch, the new girl, naturally has stronger powers because she's real from a higher power, whatever you want to call it. Um, I remember I loved the new girl and I loved her personality and um the fact that the witches were like trying to make her be a part of their group, but she was like more powerful than them. Like I loved that. But long story short, all the girls start practicing spell work together, and one has like really bad burn scars, so she wants to get rid of that. One has like a bully, and she wants the bully to leave her alone or something. The other one, she was like trailer trash. She lived in a trailer park with like abusive mom and stepdad or something, and she wanted to become rich, so she just both worked for that. And the new girl, she decided she wanted to do spell work on a guy to make him fall in love with her. Like it was her love interest, but she wanted to do spell work for him to like her. So long story short, that movie taught me do not do spell work because it will come back to you. So in the end of the movie, those three witches turned on the new girl, the natural born witch with the natural powers. They turned on her, and as they were turning on her, they were noticing that all their spells were reversing. Like, I don't know, you just have to watch the movie. But the girl who was the girl who lived in a trailer park to become rich, like the spell reversed on her, and she ended up in the loony bin. And the girl who did the spell on the boy to fall in love with her, um, it backfired on her also because the boy became too in love with her, too obsessed that he tried to trigger warning raped. He tried to raped her, and that's not what she wanted. She didn't want that kind of love and obsession. She just wanted love. So that movie taught me don't play because it will come back to you, and it's not a joke. You don't play with that. And I remember there was a scene where they did a whole thing at the beach, and I just thought it was really creepy, and I was like, you don't play with that. And then yeah, just that movie taught me a lot. And I remember she went to like a little shop to like, get help from somebody, and she just like had like these crazy spiritual experiences, and it just really resonated with me. It left an impact on me from when I was a little girl. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. Um but yeah, also my childhood, um my mom also talked about sage and stuff like that. So I've always been familiar with sage. My life also incense. Um um yeah. So what else should I talk about? Pretty much so okay, religion. Um Now, I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want to say the wrong thing. This is just my opinion. I love God. I've always believed in God. He's my number one. He's the one only higher power. And that's what I'm going to try to get at. So I feel like religions were man made because there is so many. There is Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, all kinds. But the underlying thing is we have one higher power. We pray to one God. Like, but each religion has a different set of rules. And that's why I say it's man made, because each religion has different set of rules, but it all comes down to one thing, which is the higher power, God. And um, honestly, I also feel like religion also just separates us. And in some cases, I feel like religion even belittles women. And I don't believe in that. I don't think that's God's purpose to belittle women. So I just have like, I will not tell you I'm Catholic, Christian. No, I will just tell you I love God and He's my God. I'll go to a Catholic church. I'll go to a Christian church. Um, I'm open to go to other masses. Like I would love to learn about other religions. That's one thing. I'm not close-minded. I would want to learn more about Buddhism and uh, Rastafari and all that. Because again, we all pray to one same God, one higher power. Um, and another thing that I think it's man-made is because um, there are so many versions of the Bible. If you have the Bible app, there's literally like, what version do you want to listen to? I mean, do you want to read? And there's so many, like, I don't know, I pull up the app and look, but there's so many versions. So it's like, how can you follow this book, the Bible, if there is so many different versions, so many different interpretations, so many different, you know? Because everybody interprets the Bible differently. I know I do. Um, some scriptures resonate with me and some scriptures don't. Um, if the scripture resonates with me, I'll post it on my social media or something. But if it doesn't, like, I just keep it pushing. And like, just a lot of stuff is misinterpreted. Like, one, my favorite example is the gay community. I know that in the Bible it says that it's a sin, but I don't believe that. I think that that's misinterpreted because I believe God makes everybody the way that they're supposed to be. He makes no mistakes. So if you're born gay, um, lesbian, whatever, bisexual, I think you were meant to be that way. God made you that way for a reason. There's a purpose for everything. He has a plan for everybody. So for people to say it's in the Bible, gays are bad, like that's, to me, that's not what religion is. Like to put people down. Like only God can judge. God made us the way that we're supposed to be. Like I said, for a reason. He has a purpose. It's God's plan. So I don't think anybody should judge the gay community for being themselves. Love is love. So that's one thing, like a perfect example with the Bible. That's a bad interpretation that I don't believe in that. And I don't think God wants people to be mean to gays either. Um, that's not his message, honey. He doesn't want people to be mean. Um, and also, like, I do believe that some of the stories in the Bible are real. I do believe those people had encounters with Jesus, God, whatever. Um, like Mary, especially. I do believe that. That's my girl, Mary. I I hope to be as graceful as her one day. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I do believe those stories. But I do believe that maybe is like a game of telephone. Like if someone tells you a story and then you tell that story to somebody else, that each time the story is retold, um, each individual will mix up the story a little bit, add an extra detail to make it more dramatic, or this and that, sprinkle some stuff, and in the end, I feel like the story sometimes comes out different than what actually happened. So I believe the stories, but I also think use your best judgment because I do believe like these stories are probably just passed down in a game of telephone, and just take what resonates with you. That's just what I say. Um, Now let's get into the nitty gritty. Wow, it's already been 20 minutes. So this is the main. main reason why I wanted to do this video. I've noticed that all of a sudden spirituality has been trending like crazy online. Hold on. Okay, sorry. So, yeah, before I get back into it, I just want to say, I'm sorry if I'm like offending anybody. That is the last thing that I want to do. I think, this is just my opinion. I'm open to, talk about spirituality, religion with anybody. Just DM me, on Instagram, the Daisy, at Daisy James X, because I I'm open to talking about all of this stuff. I'm very open minded and passionate about this, and the last thing I want to do is offend anybody. Um, but yeah, um, so yeah, the main reason why I wanted to film this video was because I noticed that all of a sudden spirituality has been trending across all social media platforms, and like I said in previous videos, it's a good thing. It's such a good thing because that's what we want. That's what God wants. He wants the world to change, to be kinder. Um, everybody, I know everybody feels the shift that's happening in the world, um, and that's a good thing. I'm glad people are waking up more and becoming more spiritual because, like this, everybody is becoming kinder, more based on love, more what do you call it, embracing everybody. Like, let's end racism, hate towards the gay community, hate towards Mexicans, hate towards Asian. Like, we're ending all of that, and I think that's such a freaking beautiful thing because um the world has been evil enough. The world has gone through enough already. I think it's time for a shift to happen. And I know a lot of people have felt it, especially during 2020 when coronavirus hit. 2020 was a huge spiritual awakening for the entire world. The entire world needed that. I think it shook everybody. Like, it made you see where you needed to heal. It made you see if you're a materialistic freak. It made you see who you truly love. It made you value family and friends more. It made you value time more. All of that. I know it shook everybody 2020, and it's a good thing. People do need to wake up, you know. But like I said, there's a bad side to it. Um, there's a bad side to it because, like I said, the internet stuff is driving me nuts. So, um, where should I start? So, how to start it? Okay, so let's start with um the YouTube community because this is where I get all my information on YouTube. So, I would say my first spiritual awakening was in high school, my senior year. Spiritual awakenings are like when you go through something really big in your life, tragic. Um, I guess it could be a good thing, but for me, I only triggered spiritual awakenings when something bad happened. And for me, my first spiritual awakening was in high school. My senior year when me and my high school sweetheart broke up. That was my first spiritual awakening. When I went through that breakup, spiritual awakenings are like when, like I said, you go through something huge, like a breakup, and you start reevaluating yourself. You start reassessing yourself. You start reassessing your purpose. Where's your life going, and stuff like that. And that spiritual awakening um, made me get rid of a lot of my um, childish, my childish behavior. Um, I was really I was really immature. I was um um that will be a whole other video, story time, my first spiritual awakening, because I would love to go into detail. But long story short, like, um there's a lot of girls in my family, and um I looked up to my sister and one of my older cousins a lot, and they had like long-term serious boyfriends, and I remember them always fighting with their boyfriends and stuff. And I remember seeing them, and my immature mentality, I used to be like, I want to be crazier than them, I want to fight worse than them. So I'm sorry, my poor high school boyfriend, he got the worst of me, because I was like, oh, I want to be as crazy as I can be. Well, not like that, but if he made me upset, like, I would be like really jealous and stuff like that. So when we broke up, I just reevaluated everything, and I was like, I will never do that again. I'll never do that again. I'll never do. And that's what a spiritual awakening is, you know? That's spiritual growth. That's when you're growing. Um, and it's not fun. And I see people on YouTube, like, uh, Googling and posting videos, uh, how to start your first spiritual awakening. How can I start my spiritual awakening? Um, Again, like I said, it's good for people to wake up spiritually, but it's not fun. It's not a trend. It's not. It's not rainbows and sunshines and meditation. Spiritual awakenings. It's almost like it's it's almost like you're going through a depression. Like, you feel like you've hit, in the spiritual community they call it a tower moment. You feel like everything crumbled down, and you're just reevaluating everything. Like, you're not sunshine and rainbows. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get why people are trying to hop on this trend all of a sudden. Another thing is the whole twin flames thing. Um, that first spiritual awakening that I went through, I learned so much stuff, including the twin flames term. And yeah, YouTube. I just learned so much stuff on YouTube, and that was in 2011. And um, my second spiritual awakening, I would say, was when me and the father of my child broke up, and at that time also, which was 7 years ago, because my son is 7 now, and he was 9 months when we split. So about 7 years ago. I also learned a lot then, like, how, if you're a spiritual person, if you're an empath, if you if you're a healer, everybody knows what empathy is. So an empath is someone who can feel someone else's pain, and usually when you're an empath and a healer, you feel their pain and you want to help them, you want to heal them. And I notice that uh, sociopathic men, narcissistic men, they usually gravitate towards women like that, who are healers and who are empathetic, because they need that healing, and they feel our energies attract. And so when, yeah, not to call him, no, I'm not trying to call nobody sociopath, narcissist, because you need to be a doctor to do that. I mean, I go to school for it. I'm a psychology and sociology major, but I'm not going to diagnose anybody. I will say you have narcissistic tendencies, sociopathic tendencies, but you're not a doctor. You cannot diagnose nobody. Period. Um, but yeah, that's when I started learning about the whole sociopath and empath, healer dynamic, narcissistic, and healer dynamic. And you just start learning about all this stuff. And like I said, it's not fun. It's not cute. It's like it's a hurtful experience. So for people to be like talking about it like it's a trend, like, oh, how do I find my twin flame? When will I get my divine masculine? It's like, dude, it's not rainbows, butterflies, and sunshines. Like I will depict it that way. Um, I'll post fairies and butterflies and dye my hair peach and all that, but reality is spirituality, spiritual awakenings, twin flame dynamics, it is not cute. It is hard, it's hurtful, it shakes you to your core, but it also um, builds you up to be a stronger spiritual warrior. Um, so that's why I'm saying it's a good thing for people to wake up and go through their spiritual awakenings, especially 2020 during coronavirus. But let's keep it on the light side. let's let's go into that topic. Uh, let's go into that topic. So I know there is no way that we can get rid of evil completely in the world. There has to be a balance, right? Um, but I think that exactly that there needs to be a balance. Um, everybody has a light side, everybody has a dark side, and I think it's everybody's responsibility to balance those two. Um, I prefer to stay in my light side, um, but obviously, if someone's being mean to me, trying to take advantage of me, that's when you tap into your dark side or masculine energy, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm perfect because I love to preach love and light, um, love and light, which is exactly, let's all stay there, but I'm not perfect. I also have a dark side and it's important to balance it. Um, but like I said, I don't want to dwell in my dark side. I rather let's all dwell on the light side, our love side, because yeah, and but we all need our dark side um to be strong in this world. It's like yin and yang. Um, the masculine and feminine energy balance themselves. You know, the good has a little dot of bad, and then the bad has like a little dot of good. It's balanced. We need to find balance in the spiritual community, because if you're dwelling on your dark side, then that's where you're messing up. What? How should I call it? New world order? Is that what I should call it? Anyways, if you're gonna dwell on your dark side when you're trying to tap into spirituality, you're doing it wrong, sis. Because there's a fine line. Um, now you can, there's a fine line. Now you could stay on the light side where you're just crystals and meditation and stuff like that. Or you can easily fall to the dark side and start playing with spell work, dark magic, Ouija boards, and that is where no, that's not what we're doing. That is my fear on why spirituality is trending, because now people can easily um go on YouTube, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, go on Facebook. They can easily go on anywhere, and people are talking about dark magic like it's nothing. And to me, that is so scary and so sketchy, because what if someone who's like really hateful, really vengeful, um, has no morals, has no good intentions, and they start learning about spell work, spirituality? That messes up what that messes up the good in the world. That is not the type of spirituality that we're trying to tap into. So that is what really scares me about this whole spirituality trend, dude. Like, it's crazy. Like, on YouTube, sometimes I just want to freaking hear my horoscope. And they start going into, oh, someone's doing black magic on you. Someone's doing glamour spells. Someone's doing blockages spells. Someone's doing, and it's like, dude, people talk about it like it's nothing now. And that is so crazy. Like, and YouTubers have talked about that too. I've seen a YouTuber post like that some girl was like gloating on Facebook that she did a love spell. And she posted like the jar with the petals and the candle and the seal. She posted that, and I'm like, dude, that doesn't make you cool. That's not a fucking that's not a trend. Like, you look, let's keep it spiritual. You look immature. Let's find a nice word, because what I really want to say is you look dumb. You look um immature, you look desperate, because that's what I think of when I think of spell work. Only desperate people do spell work. And what I also don't get is, if you're learning about spirituality, one huge thing about spirituality is karma. Do unto others. Do not, what? How does the saying go? Do not do unto others what you don't want to be done to you. Treat others how you want to be treated. Like, if you go out of your way to hurt somebody, that is gonna come back to you. What makes you think you're special? That you can go and dibble dabble and do some stuff like that and mess with people's lives. You could ruin people's lives. And one of the main things that really bugs me about it is, you're not God. Only God has the power to steer people the right way, steer people down the right path, steer people towards their right career, steer people towards their right home, their right person. Only God has that power. God controls your destiny. Yeah, we all have free will, which is why you dummies are doing spell work. It's your free will, but you're not God. You're messing with God's plan. You're messing with God's destiny, and you're not God. Like, that's so crazy to me. Like, you like, people think they can just do that. Like, it's a joke. That's why I feel like spirituality is, it's scary that it's trending. And people joke about it. That's the thing too. Is like on Instagram the other day, on the famous So Mexican page, there was a video of a girl putting her underwear in like a boiling pot, and she was like, there was like music, and she was like doing it, and I was like, this is not what I think it is. This is not what I think it is. People are not posting this shit. Like, sorry if I'm, people are not posting this stuff like it's nothing. I click the comments and everybody's just like, oh yeah, she's doing brujeria. Oh yeah, she's doing black magic. Oh yeah, she's doing that to keep her man stuck, to keep her man in love. Oh yeah, girls do that. And people were laughing about it. And I'm just like, how are people talking about this like it's nothing? Like, in my mentality, that's something you don't talk about. That's something you don't play with, because it's dark and it's crazy. And people were talking about it like it's nothing on social media, on a very famous platform. And I went to my mom and I was like, can you believe that they freaking posted this and they're talking about it like it's nothing? And she's like, oh, that's actually a saying in like the Mexican community, that um I guess it's a saying for when a guy's like super in love with a girl. They say, oh, uh, he drank soup of underwear. Se tomó caldo de calzón, or té de calzón. Like, pretty much, he drank uh, underwear tea, underwear soup, and that's why he's in a trance and all in love. It's spell work. It's brujeria. Like, how can people joke and talk about it like it's nothing? That is insane to me. Like, I'm just trying to hear my horoscope. And now that's like all people talk about. And it's annoying and it's scary. And it's not, I do not want people to think that that's normal. Because if you are a high spiritual person, you know that spell work is very low vibrational. Like I said in that movie, The Craft, she did a spell work on that boy, and that boy came back and tried to assault her. And that's not what she wanted. She just wanted love, not to be assaulted. And that's what people don't get. It's like all kinds of stuff, like glamour spells. Apparently, that's something so you can look ugly. Like chakra spells. I guess people can block certain chakras. Like, say someone can block my throat chakra, and I won't be able to communicate the way that I want to. Like, people talk about this stuff like it's nothing. I'm like, I don't want to learn about that stuff. I don't want to hear about that stuff. I just want to hear my horoscope and keep pushing for the day. Like, it's crazy. And even on TikTok, like, My ex literally told me, "Oh, I think you're too shy for YouTube. I think you should make a TikTok." And on TikTok, they do readings, tarot readings and stuff. I'm like, dude, if just anybody can watch tarot readings, can watch. Oh, that's another thing. Tarot readings. I know it's like, oh, witchy tarot readings, but they're literally just cards. And like I said, it depends on what energy you're tapping into. If you're if you're in your dark energy and like, then if you're playing with tarot cards, Ouija board, you can call in bad spirits. You could call in demons. It's in the freaking movies, y'all. Haven't y'all seen the freaking movies? If you play with the Ouija board, you can summon a demon and you're screwed. So I don't know why people are trying to make it a trend. Like, I'm like, I can't, dude. Like, it's so low vibrational. I can't. Like, I don't get it. I don't freaking get it. Another 20 minutes. This video is gonna be long. I'm wondering if I should do a part one and a part two. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna watch this over and I hope I don't sound crazy. It is Mercury retrograde. So I'm gonna blame it on that. Like I said a billion times. But oh, another thing is honestly on Instagram, I feel like girls just like to call themselves witches to like seem cool or something. And to me it's so cringe. Like I'll come across pages and they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm a witch." And to me, honestly, girls who are like that, they look like posers. They look like they're trying too hard. They look like they're instilling fear. They're instilling fear in people. Those type of people are carrying on the cliche of the witch, the cliche of tarot readings, the cliche of spirituality. Like, don't do that. Like the other day, I got in an argument with a family member, and she tried to call me a witch, and I'm like, dude, that is so dumb. Like, first of all, if I'm a witch, I'm a good witch. Call me Glenda, the good witch. No, I'm just kidding. No, but if like, oh my god, I can't. Like, if I was a witch, I would use it for good. That's another thing. If you are a spiritual person, if you're intuitive, like I keep saying, use it for good. Use it on the light side. Do not use it for dark purposes. Like if I really was like that, I would be helping people. I would be healing people. I would be like if you're sick, I would do my spells on you to make you feel better. That's what I would use it for. I would not use it for evil to hurt someone because I believe in karma. I believe in God. God will see me doing that and he'll be like, "What are you doing?" And you can be you can be punished for that, especially if you're doing stuff to a good person. If you're doing spell work, sending hate to a good person, it's even worse. God sees that and it's even worse for you. Do you really want that backlash, that bad karma? Like, people, please understand that. Do not do bad to people because it will come back to you. Yeah, it might be funny, ha ha ha, but believe me, it will come back to you some way, shape, or form. If you break someone's heart, please believe you will meet someone who will break your heart. Or another way, if you break someone's heart, you can go broke. You'll lose your job. People will stop wanting to be your friend. Like, karma will get you somewhere, how, some way, shape, or form. Believe me. And I'm not trying to instill fear. I'm trying to uh, advocate for you guys to stay on your light side and to be good to people. Because if you do bad, it will come back to you. It's, to me, that's common sense. But to other people it's not, which is why this is very scary that spirituality is trending. um But yeah, like it just reminds me of Wizard of Oz, like the good witch and the bad witch. Like, but I would never call myself a witch. I'm more of like I'll I'm more into like fairy vibes and butterflies, and you know, I will never label myself a witch and make myself look freaking ridiculous on social media. Like like oh my god, and that's another thing about instilling fear. I came across a YouTube video and this girl was talking about a stone. I can't even think about it on the top of my head. I should have wrote it down. But apparently it's like this stone that if oh, because that's another thing. Crystals. If a girl is like talks about crystals and da she's automatically labeled like, oh, she's a witch. Da da da. No, crystals are literally from the earth. They come from the earth. Like, come on, people. That is like such a cliche. Like, let's end that stigma. But anyways, this girl was talking about a stone, and apparently she was trying to say that this stone was so powerful. Like, be careful. Don't try to manifest with this stone. Crazy stuff happens. Come on. Like, come on. Literally, the number one comment was, like, why are you spreading fear? Like, it's just a beautiful stone to manifest. Like, it's people like that who are messing it up for the spiritual community that continue to make us look crazy, like crazy witches. Like, no, let's end the stigma. You posers need to stop. Like, you guys look like posers trying too hard. It's so crazy. Like, especially the twin flame thing. Like, the twin flame thing. Um, twin flame thing. So I think in the Bible it says that there's only like 133,000 illuminated ones or something. So, and I think that means that there's only 133,000 people on this earth, planet, whatever, that are twin flames. So, not everybody is a twin flame. And I don't know, don't quote me on that because I'm not the type to sit behind Google and do all that. All everything I learned is straight from God, whatever, you know? I'm not going to sit here on Google and no, it's just from anything that's like came to me naturally, like that I've learned like on YouTube throughout the years and stuff. There's only, I think the number is 130,000 illuminated ones, I think is how they say it in the Bible. I haven't looked up that scripture myself. So if you do find that scripture, do comment it like down below because I want to know that scripture myself about the 133,000 illuminated ones. I just haven't sat there and Googled it because I feel like a poser doing that. Sorry, but I do. So, but, yeah. So not everybody can be a twin flame. And literally the purpose for twin flames, are to come on this earth and to be together. And once you get with your twin flame, you're supposed to do God's work, which is spread love and light and spread positivity into this world because that's what God wants. That's what God's plan is. Like we're done with this misogynistic history that this world has. Um, we're slowly getting rid of that. Slowly because I was literally arguing, well, not arguing, I would say debating with a man the other day on Instagram, and he literally told me women are not smart enough, strong enough to become president. So there's still men out there with that mentality. Like it's 2021. Like let's get over it. Let's get over it, y'all. Like we need men who are motivational, who are good examples, not on that low vibrational fuckboy shit. Um, it's done. It's It's a wrap for that era. I know all of you guys feel it, and I know you guys feel it. And it's crazy because I do see boys that I went to high school with, and they're so different, and I'm just like, oh, yes, like that's what it's about. Do not stay in your childish, low vibrational stuff. Grow and stay on your light side. Do not go through tragic stuff and use that tragic stuff to stay in that dark space, because you will remain stuck there. Embrace the light, embrace love and light. Let's get out of the dark energy. Don't do freaking black magic, brujeria, voodoo, none of that. It's not a freaking trend. Period. Oh my god, this is 30 minutes and the first video was like 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna do part 1, part 2. But I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna watch these videos over to see what I missed. But yeah, I just feel like this is something really important that needs to be talked about, because I see people talking about spirituality like it's a trend, and I'm just like, yeah, but let's do it the right way. God's way, not the freaking evil way, doing black magic, dark magic, ruining people's lives. You are not God. We are all God's servants here to do our job. God's plan. Ew, that was ugly. Why did I do that? I don't know. I'm on my mind. I'm just trying to think of all the ideas, all the topics that I wanted to cover, and I think I covered them all. I even got notes, but yeah, I'm gonna watch these videos over and see if I missed anything, and I will film it tomorrow if I did miss something. 11:11 on the clock. That means I'm on the right path. 11:11. A lot of people think it means make a wish, but if you look it up, it means your angels are around you, which I guess you can make a wish, talk to your angels. It means you're on the right path and your angels are surrounding you. So shout out to my angels. I don't know why when I said shout out to my angels, my favorite angel, Archangel Michael, popped into my head. Archangel Michael is a good angel to learn about. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah, you can tell I'm not a certain religion because I embrace everything. I literally have a Buddha in my room. There's a Ganesh in the living room. I have an Archangel Michael candle. I have a Mary candle, and I have a cross that I think represents Christianity. So I have all religions. I'm just open. I love God. That's it. So do not try to judge people like, oh, why are you wearing a hamsahan if you're Christian? Like, let people do what they want to do. If you feel the need to get a hamsahan for protection, buy it. If you feel the need to buy an evil eye for protection, buy it. If you feel the need to buy a cross for protection, buy it. Who cares what society says that puts you in a little box? No, there's one God, and yeah, stay blessed, stay protected, love and light. Don't do brujeria.